If you're trying to create a silhouette of your dog for some cute wall art, it's easy to do inside of Photoshop. We are going to be taking a photo of your dog and we're going to be transitioning it into this black outline, which you can then add a frame to later on. So you are going to start off by dragging your photo into Photoshop. Now it's incredibly important to make sure you have your dog's nose on one side and they are at a 90-degree angle to your camera, because if they're slightly facing the camera, it's going to be a weird wonky silhouette. So make sure the nose is on one side and the ears in the back of the head are on the other. Then you're going to go over to your object selection tool and you are just going to highlight the area around their face and around their ears. Now, depending on how Photoshop decides to work with your photo, you may get the perfect outline and you may have to correct the outline a little bit. So you can see right here, it did not get all of Gemma's chin. So I'm going to then grab my lasso tool and hold my shift button down, and I am just going to draw onto whatever area I need to add in. If there was something I needed to remove, then I would just hold the option button down and that would take that away. So you want to just refine your outline if you need to, but usually it gets it right pretty much on the first time. So if you have to tweak it a little bit, you can. And then you're just going to want to duplicate that layer, turn off the layer below it, and you're going to add a layer mask. It looks like a little rectangle with a circle in it. And that now removes everything that is not highlighted. From here, you're going to duplicate that layer again and turn off the bottom layer. And then you're going to right click and you are going to click Convert to Smart Objects. So now we have one solid image. If you hold your Command button down and then click on that layer, that will now highlight your dog's head. From here, you're going to add a blank layer. So that's just a little rectangle with a plus in it. It's going to add a layer on top of it. You can either turn off the background layer now, or you can turn it off in a minute. And you're just going to grab your brush tool on black, 100% opacity, and you can actually make your brush big. You can use your bracket keys to do that, or you can slide it up at the top, and you're just going to paint over where your dog's head is. So now we have a really nice outline in the shape of your dog's face. Now, if you want, you can refine it and remove some of those extra hairs. You can add some things in. You can kind of see how it has little spots that it didn't quite get inside of her ears. I like that. I think it adds a little bit of character, but I can remove that if I want. I can refine her whiskers over here if I want. That is entirely up to you. If you do need to refine it, you're going to add a layer mask. That is the rectangle with the circle in it. And you're just going to grab your brush. You may want to change that from a soft brush to a hard brush. So you're just going to go to a hard round brush here. And then you're going to make that size a little bit smaller. And you can come in. Black removes things. And if you then switch the color to white, it paints it back on. So let's say I have removed it and then I want to paint part of it back on. You just switch between white and black, and that hard round brush is going to give a more fine line. It's not going to look blurry. So let's say I didn't want her whiskers there. I could come in and I could just refine that very nicely however I want. If I get too much, I just hit the X key to transition back from black to white, and I paint it back on. From there, you can add any little highlights in the nose. If you kind of want to add a little bit of the eye, you can add that in, or little refinements on the ears. But this gives you a pretty good version of your dog, which you can then create your wall art from. So once you have that settled, then you have to decide how you're going to do this. What size are you going to be printing this out on? You can then change your canvas, so you can crop that in different ways. You can go up, you can go down. You can see how that has kind of a background there. To add a colored background to this, you're just going to go down to your bottom layer, and then you can click on either a new layer and paint in that white, or you can go up to the layer button, and you can come down to fill layer, solid color, and then you are going to click OK. And you're just going to be able to change the color that you want. Usually we see with these outlines, with the silhouettes, we are going with a white, but you can do whatever color you want. Then based on how you are going to be designing this for you, you can then add in your frame. You can add in a different type of look to this, and you can print it out, frame it on your wall, and use it as art in your home. Follow along for more tips on how you can both photograph your dog and then turn that into artwork as you continue to document your dog's life, so that you can level up as a dog parent, give your dog the best life possible, and also have really cool documentation of your pup's life in photos, in videos, and in artwork just like this. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.